Number 2, cleave. Number 3, weave. Not the one in your hair. Not the one in your hair. Watch what it says. Finally, your marriage is going to make it. Watch what it says. For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother to leave, and then be cleaved to his wife, and then they will become one. Weave. They will become one. Now notice what it says. It doesn't say they are one. It says they will become one. Someone say process. That's what it takes. You'll never understand if the person was supposed to be with you if you're doing it in 6 weeks and 6 months and in a year of marriage. For it's the problem, it's the test that you all will go through, it's the bankruptcies and the no money in the bank and it's the no food in the refrigerator that you begin to see your spouse and you say, we're either going to separate or this is going to make us stronger. It is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't even happen when I say, I now pronounce you man and wife. It doesn't happen that. It doesn't even happen if you were to leave right now and go to your back seat. You know what I'm talking about. That does not weave the marriage. Process does. Your legal document won't do it. It's a lifelong process. Can I preach now? There was a survey done for men. 84% of women were asked the question, how do they feel with their spouse? Do they feel connected or do they feel alone? 84% of women said they feel no intimacy. They feel no one. They don't feel oneness with their partner. 84%. Stay with me. Can I give you my example? I like to be transparent, and so I'll be transparent. I'm going on 15, we're going on 16 years of marriage, am I right? 16 years of marriage that I've been married to my wife, my only wife. I'm not wife anywhere else. You can check. 16 years of marriage. My concept of marriage, listen to me, was, okay, well, I'm going to be a provider. I'm going to be a protector. I will not cuss her out. I will not physically abuse her. I will not verbally abuse her. I will not sexually abuse her. That was my concept of marriage. And so for years, she's right here in front of you, she could probably vouch for this. I would not cuss at her. I would not beat her as many times as I wanted to. I'm being transparent. In the midst of rage, you get upset. You want to hit something. And the only thing standing there is your spouse. What did you? No. Never hit her. Never slapped her. Never punched her. Never called her all these names that, sometimes we say when we are upset. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm just a great guy. I'm just a great guy because I don't do any of the things that most people do in their marriage. I'm great. And then God looked at me and he says, watch this. He says, you see your patient right there? When I was a pediatric nurse working in my class, I said, my patient. He says, do you physically abuse him? And I said, no. Do you verbally? I said, no, I don't verbally. Do you sexually? I said, of course not. He says, but what were to happen if you were to walk out of this house and leave your patient alone? I said, that's neglect. He said, that's what you're doing to your wife. Neglect is a form of abuse. And years I would neglect my spouse, thinking that I had it all done, had it all figured out. Because I wasn't doing the things that other couples did, so I felt I was fine. But God said, understand that neglect is the same type of abuse, if not worse. For a patient can fall, for a patient can get hurt, for a patient can be vulnerable to so many things when you neglect. And that's what you're doing with your spouse. Somebody say, ouch. The Lord had to snap me out. I had to say I was sorry. Those are the things that I'm working on now as I preach to you here today. So I'm standing here to tell you that after 15 years of marriage, it doesn't get easier. You begin to learn the process and you begin to learn exactly what your mistakes are. But if you're constantly looking at your spouse and saying, until she changes, until she does this, until he does that, and I'm not doing this until he, then you've already lost. You've already lost. Because change doesn't happen with the other party, it happens with you first. You do not get a harvest before you sow. You must sow before you get a harvest. Question. Husbands, wives that are here today, let me ask you, Are you developing a true companionship in your marriage? Can you say that you and your spouse are tight? Can you say that both of you are one? Whether you've been married 6 weeks, 6 years, 64 years. Can you say that you've got it all figured out? Or is your marriage just a joint checking account? Is it the same place where you live, the same place where you sleep? Is it the same place? Is that what your marriage is? Because if that's what it is, we must go back to the foundation. Now, it's interesting because I don't know if you caught it. I don't know if y'all caught the verse. The scripture says, he says, I'll read it to you again just so you understand. For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother to be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Now, watch this. This is God telling Adam, you must leave your mother and your father. Let me ask you this. Who were his parents? Think. Why would God tell him, when God created himself, that they have to leave their parents? You know why? He was setting the foundation. He's saying, when you have kids, understand that they must leave you, and that's normal. So you must teach them in the way to get up and say, when you're old enough, guys, because here we get married 18, 19, and that's young, sometimes 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever you have. But you go to Israel, those people at 12, they're considered men. They start getting married at 13 and they're set. They've been raised in the ways of the Lord and they're ready to move on. And so it's interesting here that he's telling Adam what to do and what not to do. Don't you get involved with their relationships, Adam. Eve, you butt out. The last time we checked, Eve, you shouldn't have eaten from the fruit. Butt out and let them figure it out on their own. And a lot of times we have overprotection. So I want you to remember the three things as we spoke. Lead, cleave, and weave. Now, as I finish up here, there are some things that I want you to know that it's going to require. And this is for you all, and this is for you all as well. Number one, it's going to take time. You want your relationship to work, it's going to take time. You say, oh, I've got plenty of that. No, I'm not talking about time on a watch, and I'm not talking about years of life. I'm talking about time with each other. Time with each other is going to take time. You're going to have to make room for your mate. Number two, it's going to take hard work. Marriage is probably the hardest thing you can do. It's the hardest thing you can do. Forgiveness is one thing that you will have to learn. You will have to learn the F word, and I'm not talking about that word. You will have to learn the forgiveness word. Why?